right, peace and blessings, everybody. Anjanae here, and welcome back to your corner of peace and my YouTube channel. Today's episode is brought to you by my cousin Deja in California. She suggested that I make a video for the beginner. So if you are somebody that is brand new to yoga, brand new to mobility, brand new to breath work, someone who's just wanting to add something new and different to their lifestyle, this is the class for you. You do not need any props. You don't need anything but yourself. Whatever brings you comfort. We'll meet right back here on the mat, and let's dive right in. Today's class is accompanied for me with my favorite smudge, which is Palo Santo. It is a very windy day out here in Kansas City, Missouri, so you might hear the sound of high winds or my windows knocking or whatever. When I think of beginner, I think of brand new to yoga. It's your first day. This is like your first time trying something, or maybe it's not your first time, but it's you trying it again after attempting it and you didn't really rock with it, you know? The first yoga class that I did, it actually was a YouTube in the comfort of my home. I don't think I did halfway as much of the poses that I do now. It was definitely trying for my body. It showed me that, you know, there were a lot of spaces that were tight that I didn't even know were tight. You know, you just kind of find yourself existing with the body that you have. You never really think or consider that there might be something that can be done about that, you know? So that is where I was on my beginner journey when I, you know, found yoga. And since then it has blossomed to everything that you see here now. And even with these videos that I'm recording for you guys, the full circle moment, I'm still learning. And that's one of the favorite disclaimers that I love to give to my students in person is I am a yogi just like you guys. I'm still learning. You guys will probably see my progression through my videos. Like, it's trial and error with yoga, just as it is with life. Nothing is meant to be done perfectly, and really listen to your body. I'm here giving you options and guidance, and no, I may not cue every single thing, so feel free to explore. You know, if there's something that you want to try with your body type, go for it. You know, that is the beauty of yoga, is that it meets you where you are, not where you feel like you should be. And as a beginner, there's nowhere that you should be except for where you are. So we're gonna dive right into our yoga flow. I'm gonna move my bolster to the side. Peep my bolster. My wife got it for me for our anniversary. She got it off of Amazon. It was only $50. So we're starting somewhere. I'm finally part of the bolster tribe. I'm glad I have one. Highly suggest it if you have some tight spaces in your body. It's very helpful with yoga if you can stick props in those spaces that are kind of discomforting or uncomfortable for you to be in. So we're here in our comfortable seat, and we're gonna just close down our eyes, give a chance for our mental to kind of catch up with where our physical is. Place the back of your hands on top of your knees, close down your eyes, drop your shoulders, drop whatever expectations you may have, and just allow yourself to sit here comfortably. Take a big breath in, expand from your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Do that a couple more times at your own pace. Expand from your belly, inhale. Exhale out your mouth. Inhale, expanding from your belly. Exhale out your mouth. I swear I hear my dog snoring. Keeping your eyes closed down, just returning back to a normal breath that feels good. Just inhale and exhale. It's hard to stay quiet. So just allowing your thoughts to go, flying by, breathing, inhale, outer mouth exhale. One more, inhale, and outer mouth exhale. Keeping your eyes closed down or starting to flutter them open, take your left hand, place it on the outside of your left thigh. We're going to inhale this right arm up, extend it up towards the ceiling. Starting to lean over to the left side, option to bend in that left elbow, coming to a side body stretch. If you feel that your shoulder is up by your ear, drop it down. So you might have to pull your arms further back, but drop that elbow. Inhale, shifting your spine back straight, bring both arms with you. Right arm comes down to the outside of your right thigh. Hold that inhale. Exhale, leaning over towards the right side. Drop that left shoulder. Remembering to breathe, don't hold your breath. Bring both arms back up to midline, straighten up your spine. Exhale, leaning over to the left. Drop that left arm, right arm goes up and over. Inhale, back up to midline. Exhale, leaning over to the right. One more inhale brings us back to center. Exhale, bringing your hands to touch, reaching down towards your heart chakra or heart center. Now, when it comes for the breath work that we use for the duration of class, I suggest using your Ujjayi breath or your victorious breath. It's when you make a sound at the back of your throat, but keeping your lips sealed. It's a way to control your breath through uncomfortable postures, or a way to ignite fire within your internal to where you're not feeling exerted in your external. Hopefully that translated well. So we're going to come up to a tabletop position, which is all fours. You want your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. As far as your feet goes, you have the option to leave your feet flat on the mat or point your toes facing your heels towards the back of the room. And we're going to start off by coming into some cat-cows. And while we're in this posture, keeping in mind that you can use your Ujjayi breath or just breathing at a pace that feels good to you. For your wrists, you want to make sure that your fingertips are a little bit elevated to where you feel a little bit of space in between your hands so you're not dumping all of your pressure into your wrists. And we're going to inhale, shifting our head forward, starting to create a little bit of an arch in your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down, puffing up your chest, coming into cow. Breathe in. Holding your breath at the top. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, chin to chest. Pull your core in. Coming into cat. Doing that a couple more times, find an inhale, rolling those shoulders back and down. Shift your gaze forward. Exhale, rounding in the spine, squeeze your glutes, push everything away. Option to leave your eyes closed down, shifting your awareness inward, or to keep your eyes open, be present. With each breath and each exhale, you're rolling your spine, creating a little bit of a hunch. Couple more, find your own rhythm and your own movement, breathing at a pace that feels good for you. Exhaling, pushing everything away. Scoop it down. Squeeze your glutes, activate your thighs. Last one, find your inhale, rounding your spine. Exhale, push it all away and hold. Squeeze those glutes, scoop in your core, pushing through your thighs. Noticing how your body feels with all of these different actions going on. Returning back to a neutral tabletop, let everything go. Coming to a passive spine, not so much active. Resting on the tops of your feet, maybe shifting your hips from left to right. Placing our feet back onto the mat where your toes are pointed onto the floor. Leave your left hand on the mat, find stability in those left fingertips. Slowly starting to peel that right arm up, find an inhale, extending it up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bend in that right elbow, thread it underneath your left armpit, grounding your right shoulder blade onto the mat. Option to inhale, extending that left arm up and over, finding rest here, coming into a thread the needle. Being sure to continue your breath while in this posture. Taking it easy on your body. Finding your last breath here. And exhale it out. Bringing your left arm to frame your face, extending this right arm back up. And exhale, wind it down, returning back to our neutral tabletop. Peeling this left arm up, find a breath in. As you exhale, threading it underneath that right armpit, bringing your left shoulder blade to the floor and your face. Right arm can stay wherever it is, or it can extend up towards the ceiling, grounding back onto the mat. Taking a breath in and exhale it out. Melting yourself deeper into this posture, grounding your forearm and your elbow, maybe relaxing your feet. Taking your last breath here. Bringing this right hand to frame your face. Inhale, peeling that left arm back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, wind it down. We're back in our tabletop position. We're gonna send our hips to the back of the room, sitting on tops of our feet. Place your forearms on the mat, and we're just gonna get into some wrist mobility. Taking our hands and just placing them forward and back, just taking some of the pressure off of our wrists. Now pausing with our hands at the top, closing down your fingers, leaving your thumbs extended outright. We're just gonna roll our wrist in opposite directions. Pausing at the top, go counterclockwise, so in the opposite direction. And pausing at the top. Placing your hands back on your mat, we're going to return back to our tabletop position. Placing your fingers back on the mat, placing your pressure back in your fingertips. Take this right leg and extend it to the back of the room, placing your feet on the mat. We're just going to pulse forward and back, just pushing through our heel, noticing how that feels on your hamstring, noticing if there's a little bit of tightness, if it's a little tender. Finding your last pulse, push through that right heel as if you're trying to ground it on the floor, breathing and exhaling. Shifting your hips back in line, slowly start to peel that right heel off the floor. Notice how it feels and ground it back down. We're gonna do that a couple of times, just a little bit of leg pulses. Lift it up and ground it back down. One more lift, inhale, and ground it back down, exhale. Inhale, lift, and exhale, ground. One more, inhale, lift, and exhale, ground. Bring your right knee back in to meet your left. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Point your right toes on the mat for stability, extending this left leg back and just starting to pulse your heel forward and back. Stretching out that hamstring. Breathing through any tightness or discomfort. Finding your last pulse, really push through that left heel as if you're trying to ground it on the floor. And as you bring your hips back into line, find an inhale, lifting that left heel up. It can start off small. And exhale, ground it down. Maybe this time it's higher. Inhale, lift. And exhale, ground it down. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, ground it down. Keep it going, breathe. And exhale. Last one, inhale. The wind of Kansas City. And exhale, lower. Bringing our left knee into our right, we're going to make our way to a child's pose. So we're walking our knees to the edges of the mat, bringing your big toes to touch, and just sink your hips back until you're falling in between your legs, Bending in your forearms to where your elbows are grounded on the mat and just having a seat. If you notice that there's any tightness in between your hips, close down your knees some. Shorten your stance. Still try to keep your big toes to touch. And melting your heart closer towards the floor, walk your hands forward. Letting your head be heavy, coming into a child's pose. Taking a really big inhale, expand from your belly. And exhale it out. Finding your last breath in this child's pose. Slowly starting to lift your head, bending in your elbows, just giving yourself room to pick your body up right. We're going to lift in the chest, closing down our knees to kick our feet out to the side, returning back to a comfortable seat. Take your time to get there. And we're going to end today's class how we started it. So leave your left hand on the outside of this left thigh. Inhaling, right arm up and over, coming into that side body stretch. Exhale as you lean over to the left side. Notice how your body feels now compared to how it did when you started. Inhale, shifting everything back in line. And exhale, leaning over to the right. One more inhale back to center. And this time we're going to exhale, finding a forward fold. Just let your hands draw in front of you. And as your hands come down, lowering your spine with it, coming into a forward fold. Grounding your hands on the earth, let your head be last. Brace the earth with your elbows and forearms, letting your head be heavy. If you find discomfort, you can extend your legs out more in this seated posture. Take some of the pressure off your inner hips. Taking your last breath and release it. Use your fingertips to walk your body back upright. Meeting here back in our seated posture. Noticing how your body feels, giving it a little bit of last minute movement, whatever you feel your body may need. As we close out today's class, we will come to a collective breath together. So let's place our hands together to touch, touching our heart chakra. Take a big inhale and exhale. Affirming to ourselves that our peace can be created no matter where you are. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me for this beginner flow. Please feel free to let me know down in the comments if you guys resonated, if it was something that spoke to you. I definitely would like to know. Or just let me know what kind of class you guys would like to see. It is 100% possible for me to run out of ideas, and I may or may not almost be there. So I appreciate the feedback. Let me know what you guys want to see. Until next time, y'all. Peace.